Hello, and a really warm welcome back to Garden Club. Here we are in the third week in May. I always say, can you believe it? But can you believe it? Here we are, the third week in May. Did you see that lobelia that was on the screen just a moment ago? That is what we planted together last week. It's already growing on really well, and that'll be marvellous over the next period of time. And your antirrhinums are doing well as well. So, what are we going to do today? Well, we're going to plant some petunias and some schizanthus. I'll show you those in a moment. But first of all, let's begin in the propagating house and see how things are doing there. I always love coming into the propagating house first thing in the morning just to see what might have germinated overnight. And look, here we are. I don't know if you can see this. This is centaurea. It's cornflower. And look, there you are. Look, you've got one little cornflower coming through there. That wasn't there yesterday evening. Another one over here. Something over there. Very exciting, you see, when you start those off. Here you've got a few more things sown, just sown the other day. So they're waiting. What else have we got down here? Let me see what else I can show you here. What have we got here? We've got scabious coming on. And let me come over here for a moment. Oh, some of your zinnias. We sowed these together on the video. The zinnias and the flocks of sheep. The scabious, the flocks of sheep are coming on nicely, and asters and helianthus. Those are some like kind of sunflowers, but small flowered sunflowers. Helichrysums. These are some of my cut flower plants, and more scabious there, and more different kinds of cornflower there. Oh, and here cosmos coming on beautifully there. That needs pricking out now. In fact, many of these things need pricking out. So more jobs to do for Liz. Well, now here we are at the nursery, ready to plant the petunias and the schizanthus, which I shall look forward to introducing you to a little bit more in a moment or two. So here we are. Let's have a go at planting out these petunias and schizanthus up here. And I'm rather hoping you might be able to hear the birds singing in the background. They're really beautiful. I'll just pause for a moment. Can you hear that? It's gorgeous. Right. Let's get on and plant these petunias and schizanthus. So, for the petunias, here we are. I've got the pot already, look. We've got some nice compost in there, made up ourselves, with some nice food in it. Here we are, and one of our usual pots that we use at Garden Club. And it's time for the petunias. So there's a lovely example there, look. Looking really super in this pot. We sowed these together in the second week in January, and then Liz will have pricked them out sometime probably early in March, and so here we are in May, time to put them in. So let's have a go. See how they come out of here. I dare say there's plenty, a lot of root there. Look, if you can see that, nice bit of root there, and in it goes. Firm him in, and as always, we shall put one or two around and about. There's a nice white one there. That'll be nice. Into the pink. Tease him out of the pot. Here we go. That will do nicely. In it goes. And this one's going to have a nice kind of purple tinge to that one, I think. So let's pop that one in there. There's some lovely deep purple ones to plant and enjoy. So this was your work back in January, when it was all cold and dark and gloomy, and now it's a beautiful really warm day in May. Really, really beautiful. Here we are, last one of these. Need to pack them in quite nicely. That's a nice, slightly smaller one that'll come on just a little bit later. They're all nice and damp. They've been well hardened off now, so that's fine. There we are. A pot of petunias. Petunia grandiflora. Big flowers. And they're going to be absolutely marvellous during the summer. Now, for your schizanthus. Now, schizanthus isn't quite so well known. These are some beautiful plants that we sowed the seeds for in well, the end of February, beginning of March. And because it's slightly less well known, I shall post a picture at the end of this little piece to give you an idea what the flowers look like. They are absolutely beautiful. And one of the things I've discovered this year is that they're really good as a cut flower. I find that they're sustaining in water indoors really well, and it's a little thing that I've learned. Anyway, here we are. Look, these lovely plants. Imagine these were tiny seeds. One of those seeds that you said were so small you could hardly see them when we sowed them together. And we're going to pop these in, and as I say, I'll put a picture up so you can see what they're like. Some of you may remember that people call them the poor man's orchid, but it's a name that I'm not at all fond of, because it suggests somehow that they're a poor plant, somehow lacking in some way. And that's not at all true. They're absolutely gorgeous in their own right. They're not poor anything. So here we are, schizanthus. And that's lovely. Here we go. Now these don't flower for all that long. They're not. They're an early part of the summer flower, but well, that's okay. They add a sparkle to our garden displays early in the season. Mind you, they're going to add some sparkle late in the season this year as well, because the other day I sowed a few more, which will be lovely. Something we can probably plant out in August, and will, you know, if the weather is kind to us in September and October, go on giving us a really lovely show going on into the autumn, making it feel like the summer is continuing. There we are, schizanthus. What could be better? Well, let's just have a quick look and see how things are in the polytunnel. We've got the asters. Look, I haven't shown you these lately. We sowed these together back in, it's sometime in March, I think, and they're looking rather good. Look, nicely growing on there. And over here, look, you've got celosia, the coxcomb. They're going to be absolutely lovely. The mimulus that we saw last week. Oh, these are fun. And now this is something we didn't sow together. This is something of mine, one of my little bits of fun, and it's this is a castor oil plant. I can't bring these to you because they're poisonous. Every part of them is poisonous. The seeds are poisonous, the flowers are poisonous, and the leaves are poisonous. Why would I grow it? Well, they're extremely exotic and beautiful plants, and I keep it somewhere where nobody can touch it, so they're rather nice. Your white lobelia over here will be something that we can plant out very soon, and your mesembryanthemums, Livingston daisies, you know, those wonderful daisies that open up when the sun comes out, and when the sun goes in they close up again. French marigolds, which we've seen before. More baby celosia, that's another even bigger coxcomb. And here we've got the begonias, which are just about ready to go in, so we'll be on that very soon. Good, there's a little something in the polytunnel. So, in news from the allotments, all sorts of things are growing beautifully. I see my neighbour, allotment neighbour, has sensibly covered up her cherry tree with netting to stop the birds eating them. I'm not quite sure how successful it'll be, but it's a good attempt at trying to beat the birds at their own game. And also on the allotment, look, the gooseberries are just filling out nicely. Won't be too long before there's a chance for a gooseberry crumble. Well, there's a little something from Garden Club today. We've planted those petunias and schizanthus, and we've seen lots of things. And I must just tell you something exciting. When I was closing up the polytunnel, I disturbed one of our colony of slowworms. I'm very fond of our slowworms and very proud of the fact that they like to live in and around our polytunnel and on our site. So it was unusually active. In fact, I think I annoyed it. I moved a tray that it was hiding under, and it wriggled around and slithered away very quickly. They're really beautiful creatures. Usually when it gets really warm, they bask in the sun, and so perhaps then I'll be able to get a photograph for you and include that in one of our videos later on. So, leaving you with an image of sun setting over my allotment the other day, and some other pictures of things that are growing nicely at the moment, I shall say bye-bye, and I'll look forward to being with you in this way again next time. So, bye-bye for now.